All right, so we are recording. You can go ahead.
Last week, I don't know about Jacob. Jacob will do his recap in a minute. Last week, I went 13-3 on my NFL picks. And I went up, let me calculate the units right now. Okay, nice. And I went up 30.
I got you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
look it for me.
Yeah, I got it.
And I went up a total of 30 units last week on NFL, which is absolutely insane. That was definitely my best week of the year. 13-3. I was 5-0 on primetime games. So we're looking to continue that today. We went up a ton last week. We were going crazy. Jacob, I won the head-to-head matchup we had last week with the Patriots-Browns game going over.
Still salty about that.
Yeah, I think trying to rub it in the fourth quarter with all the rushing touchdowns at the end.
It was like a 98% chance to hit the under going into the third quarter.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. And all right, so now I'll get it started. First, I'm going to go to the Ravens-Browns game, little divisional matchup, an exciting matchup. I mean, I still think the Ravens are a really good team, despite them like choking every game in the fourth quarter. I still think they're a very good defense. They have the 7th ranked passing defense, according to DVOA. And the Browns are horrible defensively. They are the 31st ranked defense in the league, 32nd against the run, 28th against the pass. So really not a good defense. A bright side for them is they do get Myles Garrett back today.
Ooh.
I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I don't know if he's like 100%. This is his first game back. And Jadeveon Clowney is also questionable. I think it's a game time decision on whether he plays, but they're optimistic. So if they get those two guys back, you've got to think the running defense improves a bit, right?
Right.
Outside of that, their passing defense is still going to be terrible. They're without Denzel Ward, and the Ravens are really good against the pass. I'm not really good against the pass, really good passing the ball. They're the 5th ranked team, according to DVOA. So they should kill this Browns passing defense that really isn't that good. I have the Ravens are favored at just below a touchdown at 6.5, and I'm going to take that at a 2-unit play. The running defense, the run may be a little slower than it usually is just because of the superstar talent that the Browns are getting back, but they're still not a good team. The only mismatch I'm a bit worried about that you guys should be wary of is the Nick Chubb matchup. Nick Chubb and the Browns are the 3rd ranked rushing offense, while the Ravens are 16th in rushing DVOA. But besides that, it's a complete mismatch in the passing game. I expect Lamar Jackson to go crazy, and I expect the Ravens to win and cover 6.5 at a 2-unit play. You got anything here, Jacob?
Yeah, I do like the Ravens in this game, but a touchdown favorite is definitely
It's a lot
hard because I believe in Jacoby Brissett, and I'm just gonna mute everybody. Sorry. So yeah, I think Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback. I think he's a starter over as opposed to being a backup. And then when you have that Nick Chubb, like you can't, it's hard to bet against them. So I'm staying away from this game. But if I were to bet, then I think the under. I think it's I don't have it in front of me. What is the over under on this? But yeah, so I don't think giving the Ravens a touchdown favor. I know they're at home, they're a decent home team. But I think it's going to be a running game, and usually when a lot of run happen, the time goes pretty quick. So if I were to put a bet on this game, I would lean towards the under. I'm still trying to find it. Where is it?
I would probably lean against the under and lean for the over just because of the mismatches offensively, but I'm not personally.
So 46, under. I mean, 46 is a little low. If it was 49 and into the low 50s, definitely I would go for an under. But so I don't have a play on this game.
And by the way, anyone who is in the free chat who joined from the free chat, if you want the picks like written out with the spread of the units, just send a DM to Jacob or I. and saying like you're in the free chat and you want the picks, and we'll send you the slate we have, because we're only going to post them in the VIP chat. But if you guys join the Zoom, just send us a DM and we'll send you the slate ourselves. Anyways, moving on to the next game. Bucks Panthers. This is gonna be my biggest play of the day. The Panthers look really bad. And some people, the saying is usually once you're at the bottom, the only place to go is up. The Panthers are doing a pretty good job disproving that statement, and they're actually going lower. So they've lost Christian McCaffrey, their only competent offensive player. They trade away Robbie Anderson. I mean, they're probably going to trade away DJ Moore soon. As bad as Baker Mayfield is, he's better than the other two quarterback options, and he's doubtful today. So I'm not necessarily taking the Bucks on the spread just because the Bucks offense has been really bad. They've disappointed time and time again. They should have had a get back spot against the Steelers, but they didn't. This week, I still think they're going to play very well. I think they're going to have a nice game, but I'm going to take the under in this game at 39. I think the Panthers are probably going to score 0 points. They may not even score. They're so bad. I am a little wary about their ability to get defensive touchdowns. But besides that, their defense is pretty solid. So I expect them to limit a Bucks offense that has been great. 39 points, I feel like for a Panthers team that's probably going to score single digits, and a Bucks offense that's struggling is even like a high total. So I'm going to take under 39 at 4 units for this Bucks Panthers game. That's my pick.
Yeah, Panthers are terrible. I am again staying away from this game. Father Time is caught up to Tom Brady, and not a Tom Brady fan to say the least. I don't wish ill on anybody, but
I don't think he's going to be good today. I don't think he's going to be very good today.
I mean, he's slowing down. He's never really had much drama per se in his life, or really any. I mean, he's just been so good for so long. He's not really had any controversy surrounding him, and the last 2 weeks he's not really handled it well. You see his outburst against his team. Again, if I was saying 46 is kind of low for betting the under, they're 39. It's hard for me to bet under, but I mean, the line has moved down. It opened up at 41, I think. So the line opened up at 41. So it's already down a 1.5, which is a decent amount. Again, so I'll put my bets in here, but I will confirm them right before game time. If you're new here, Sam and I do different styles of betting. I like a lot of props. He likes a lot of spreads, over unders, you get
a variety. You get a mixed bag of bets when you're
right. And then I follow the money, so I'll wait right till game time. I know it's difficult. People have lives and whatnot, but the most there's a website I use that shows where all the money comes into, and usually right before game time, 5-10 minutes before it starts, a lot of money will come in on one way or the other. I see that money. I say, okay, that's where the sharp or the sharks, however you want to call it, are betting. Then that's where I'll confirm my pick. So this right here is what I'm leaning towards. But then when I put it in the Discord, that's when we will confirm. Right.
Next pick I got is in the Falcons Bengals game, and I'm pretty sure. Do you have the same pick as me here? I think you do. I'm not positive. Maybe you just had a lead. But I have the Falcons to cover the spread. The biggest thing I think leaning towards the Falcons, I mean, there's 6.5 underdogs here. So that's all obviously big. They're 6-0 against the spread. So they've
America's team
reliable. Yeah, they've been reliable for bettors so far. But their rushing offense is ranked first in DVOA. And according to a lot of analytics, they're the best rushing offense in the league. Now the Bengals aren't a bad rushing defense, but they don't have DJ Reader, who's their big run stopper. He's the best run stopper in the league. And so they're ranked 17th in rushing defense DVOA. That's still a big mismatch. And I think the Falcons will be able to run on the Bengals. The Bengals pass defense and secondary is very good, but the running defense should open it up for a couple play action opportunities for Mariota. One thing I'm a bit worried about, so be wary, is the Falcons defense is not that good. They're really not a good defense. They rank 30th in overall defensive DVOA, 28th in pass, and 30th in run. But the Bengals offense has been pretty underwhelming this year. They rank middle of the pack in most offensive stats. So a touchdown favorite. I mean, the Bengals haven't really been blowing teams out. I mean, they beat the Saints by what, 5 points?
All right.
They lost to the Ravens by 2. So they're in a lot of close games. So I think the Falcons, I would bet this up to a touchdown to be safe. So +7, lines at +6.5. But I would take an alternate at +7. And I like the Falcons to cover at a 2-unit play.
Yeah, I'm staying away from. I have a few bets on this game actually. I'm staying away from the spread. Falcons are 6-0. Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow are getting their stride in, which is scary.
Yeah,
If Jamar Chase, I mean, he could easily go off for 200 yards. So that is not an official play, but Jamar Chase anytime touchdown scorer is a decent play. I don't know what the odds are on that. I'm sure it's probably not the best for being an anytime touchdown scorer. But I have the over on this. Again, I'm looking at it very closely. It's already went up 6 points or 3.5. Sorry. It started at 43, went up 4 points. It started at 43.5. It's up to 47.5. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. Both offenses are coming up, and I think you're giving the Bengals defense. They're ranked 21st rushing defense, so they are in the bottom tier. And as we were talking earlier, I can't pronounce this guy's name, but Algier, he's a rookie running back for the Falcons. He only needs 65 more yards to get 300 yards, which will be the third fastest Falcons running back to ever reach 300 yards. And his over-under is 46.5. He averages 4.5 to 5 yards, I think 4.7 yards a carry, and his over-under attempts is 12.5. So if Vegas is expecting him to get 12.5 attempts at 4 yards a carry, that's about 48 yards. So those are my two plays for this. I might do a same game parlay and bring those lines down to over 40 yards rushing, over 10 attempts, and then have that line around 45. Again, I'll put that in the Discord. I don't know what those odds will be, but right now my picks are Algier over 46.5 yards rushing and over 12.5 attempts. I've been killing the prop bets. The last 2 weeks, last week, I think I went 12 units in props. The week before I had 8 units in prop bets. So I'm doing a lot. And then with the Bengals defense only being 21st, they might be out an interior lineman. So definitely, I think they're going to try and get that guy is 300 yards.
Yeah, this mixed bag is great because against the spread, I'm up like 24 units. Props
right.
we're killing it on every aspect. So you get multiple ways of making money here, multi-dimensional. Anyways, next pick, going to the Cowboys, who get their starting quarterback back. Dak Prescott makes his return against the Lions, and I'm backing the Cowboys here. You know, maybe there is some rust to be shaken off for Dak Prescott, but I think it's going to be pretty easy to shake off rust against the Lions defense, which is really bad. They rank 32nd. They're the worst defense in the league. They're the second worst pass defense in the league and the third worst run defense in the league. So overall, their
defense is pretty bad, is what you're saying.
They're just not good anywhere. There's terrible everywhere. The Cowboys offense, their passing offense, we saw them sputter against the Eagles. And honestly, I think they actually played pretty well against the Eagles. Cooper Rush was really the reason they lost, throwing 3 picks and getting the Eagles in good field position on like multiple plays. I did have the Eagles in that game, so that was nice. But now they get a reliable quarterback, a more competent quarterback in Dak Prescott. He's going to be able to shake the rust off against a Lions team that is really bad. Their secondary has been terrible. I mean, overall, he can light them up. Plus, the Cowboys' run game has been stellar. They rank third best team running the ball. The Cowboys also have the 6th best passing defense. So that should really shut down Jared Goff and the Lions, especially with Amon-Ra now being fully healthy. One thing to be wary of, and the reason why I'm not taking this at a huge play, is the Lions may have a rushing mismatch on the ground. So with Swift and Jamal Williams, those guys are both back, or Jamal Williams has been back, but Swift is back. Those guys may be able to get some nice chunk yardage, but overall, I would take the Cowboys to cover 6.5 just below a touchdown at a 3 to 4 unit play. I'm gonna personally take that a 4 unit play. I'm very confident in the Cowboys. So that's what I got for that game.
I mean, the Lions are the Lions. They're gonna Lion. They're gonna Detroit every game. I just don't see Dak covering 7 on this game. But again, I don't like spreads. I don't like over-unders. Especially, unfortunately, I've got slaughtered in NHL opening week on over-unders. A lot of people did. Yeah, a lot of the money. Swift is questionable. That's the thing.
Yeah,
the Lions, they have a lot
questionable, but I think they're optimistic for his return.
They just 5 hours ago, they said he's not expected to play versus Cowboys.
They said that?
That's 5 hours ago. Pride of Detroit. What I just tweeted it. The 5 hours ago they
bump
said
that up to 4 or 5 units. Bump that up to 4 or 5 units. That's big. That's big. Thank you. Who put that in the chat? T Cave. Yeah, thank you, T Cave, for saying that, because now we're bumping that play up. That's huge. Perfect.
So I don't know if you know. Also, DJ Chark is out. They put him on IR.
DJ, DJ Chark is.
So for me, that's where I'm coming on the props. I think they're going to try and establish a running game so they can ease Dak back in. I like Dak's under. Where is it? Passing. Let's see. His attempts are. Where are they passing? I cannot. But my plays here are. I'm on St. Brown. 71.5 is what they're saying yardage. I think that's a little high. But 6.5 receptions. So I'm going to talk. So St. Brown 6.5, but I'm on the same game parlay that with Hawkinson over 3.5. So they're only giving the tight end 3.5. They like to dump it down to him. He's coming into his groove as well, but it's a minus 160. So if you want, you can try to bump that up to 5 if your sports books allows you to do an alt reception. So if you can get him at over or 5+, so that if he gets 5 or more, that's a win. But I'm going to do the alt 5+ for Hawkinson, and I'm also doing St. Brown over 6.5 and Hawkinson over 3.5 as a same game parlay on that. Pass attempts, Dak Prescott 34. I don't see him throwing 30 balls today, so I'm going to say the under of 34.5, especially if they build a lead, which is very doable. But I mean, it very well could be a shootout as well. The Lions, I mean, you saw, what was that, the Falcons game where they scored like 100 points?
No, Seahawks.
The Seahawks, Lions, Seahawks. Yeah, I knew it was a bird. So I don't see this being a shootout. That's good for the cover of the 6.5. So I'm going with Prescott under 34.5 attempts as well.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Got over a couple of my bigger plays with the Bucks under and the Cowboys spread. And now I'm get to a 1 unit play. It's my smallest play of the day, but it's it's definitely a fade play. And I'm fading the Giants. We got the Jaguars at home. And you've got to think the Giants are due for some negative regression. I mean, their defense is 30th overall, 28th against the pass, 29th against the run in DVOA. Dable has done a great job scheming this defense and getting pressure on quarterbacks, which is worrisome because Trevor Lawrence isn't great at throwing when under pressure. But I'm still on the Jags here. You know, the Giants haven't proved they're able to win on the road. They've gotten a couple of pretty lucky wins with the Ravens kind of throwing the game last week. So I'm rolling with the Jaguars here, who have a really good defense. I think Daniel Jones, the Giants are going to do what they do. You know, they're a pretty consistent team, but I think the Jaguars will be able to get it done. Their defense is one of the best in the league. They're solid. They're ranked 8th in DVOA. I'm expecting the Giants defense to crumble a bit. I'm expecting Trevor Lawrence to have a nice game. And I expect the Jaguars to win and cover and give the Giants their second loss. That's my pick. 1 unit.
So cover 3, huh? I guess let's see if I can even up the odds and the Giants give me another head-to-head. I'm not fading the Giants. There's no way I'm fading the Giants. Yeah, I don't see how the Giants are losing by 3. the Colts exposed the Jags secondary.
They did.
They're giving Saquon 76.5 yards. I mean, once a team exposes someone like that, I mean, Matt Ryan threw the ball for, he threw the ball a billion times last week. I mean, you really just keep that same blueprint, that same game plan. So I think I like the over on this. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think both quarterbacks are going to throw the ball a lot. So I'm not going to bet the spread, but just for competition's sake, just because I have a couple units on the props. So for competition's sake, I think the the Giants are going to spread cover.
Hey,
so I think you're winning 4-3 right now.
I am up 4-3.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a 1 unit play for me. So again, I'm like this isn't a very confident play, but I'm just seeing the Jaguars, looking at the numbers and seeing that the Jaguars will win this game.
Right.
But yeah, moving on.
Let me see. Let me get the reason why. So I have my notes here, but lines move all the time. So I don't want to say something and then you look at it and it's like, oh, that's not it. So passing attempts is there's passing. Where are they? So passing completion, Daniel Jones over 18.5, Trevor Lawrence over 21.5. So I'm definitely taking Jones over 18.5 completions. And then attempts, I think Jones gets again more than 30. So I'm going to take Jones over 27.5 attempts. So I'm probably going to do a half a unit play on each of those to make it a full unit total. Okay. Again, depending on what your Sam bets up to 5 units. My max unit's a 3 unit play. I should have set a 5 unit play on NBA with DJ Matherin, their rookie stud. I did do a 3 unit play on that the other week or last week, but yeah, so just depending if you want to put a unit on each of them, or if you want to do a half a unit like I do, just to make it a full unit play. But Jones over 18.5 completions and over 27.5 attempts.
All right, perfect. Moving on. This is my final pick so far of this live stream. And we're going to Jacob's favorite team, divisional matchup, Colts Titans. And I am done fading the Colts. I'm officially on the Indianapolis train. I'm riding with the Colts today. I mean, I was on the Jaguars last week on a big play. It was one of the plays that limited me from like a absolutely insane week. I still had a great week last week, but it would have been crazy if the Jags had just given up a field goal to the Colts. But apparently they had to get a touchdown, of course. Matt Ryan threw for 390 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it seems like he took the basketball saying shoot or shoot. The only way to get out of a slump is to shoot more. And I guess Matt Ryan just passed a lot more. He had 42 completions, something like, or 50 completions. How many did he threw? Like,
it's a stupid amount.
Absolutely crazy. And I think it's going to be more the same against the Titans defense that ranks 30th against the pass. They're a very good running defense, the Titans, but the Colts don't even run anyways. So I don't think that's a big deal. Taylor and Nyheim Hines are both practicing, so they should get those guys back. Shaq Leonard is fully healthy, so that should shut down.
I hope he stays healthy.
That's a huge Titans run game a bit today. And I'm expecting the Colts to cover +3 on the road. I think they probably win this game, so I might even take them outright at
it's dropped to +2.5 now, so you have to buy 0.5 point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to buy that point. I mean, we get field goal insurance, it's all right, but it's like probably -120, something around there.
You're right.
And yeah, I just like the Colts +3. I'm still not completely high on them. I'm taking it at a 2 unit play because they still are 30th, or they're actually still 32nd or 31st in DVOA offensively through their first 6 games.
Right.
Still not completely confident in them, but
you have Jonathan Taylor. Run the ball. Please just run the ball.
They definitely showed some good signs last week. I got the +3 in Tennessee. And that's it for me. So
I want to take the Taylor rushing prop over.
Don't do it.
With him being hurt. And I don't know if you all are new. 2 weeks ago, he had it was what was it, over 30
20 and a half. It was over 20 and a
20
half.
and a half rushes. First play of the fourth quarter, he gets his 20th run and then got hurt. And that hurt. That was a 3-unit play for me. I was really high. I was like, oh, it's as simple. It's it's a 1 possession game. He's gonna get 5 more. So yeah, I last week's game definitely helped. And I think Frank Reich, I'm not a big fan of him. He gets in his head too much. He's just like, well, the teams are going to stuff the box, so I'm going to throw the ball. They're not good offensively passing, so teams just continue. And then Frank just never runs. They get behind and he can't run. So I think last week with them throwing it so much, that's going to open up the box. So I wish there was a team total rushing. I'm on DraftKings, so I don't know if they have a team total rushing, I would take that. But I just can't do the Jonathan Taylor. He's too injury prone. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, or however that saying goes. So I'm staying away. But I do like Derrick Henry. They're only giving him 2.5 catches. He's surprisingly became part of their passing game this year. So I think Henry over 2.5 catches. And then he has hit the last 5 games over 13.5 passing or not receiving yards. So I think that streak's got to come to an end sometime, but until it does, I'm going to keep betting it. So definitely over 2.5. That's a 1-unit play for me for Henry on his catches. And then over 13.5, I'm going to put a half a unit on there. And then the other half, so I'm going to make this into a 2-unit game. I like the over. So it started at 41.5. It's already up to 43.5. So it's almost a field goal difference from the start. So I like the over 43.5 for half a unit. Taylor over 2.5 catches for 1 unit, and then over 13.5 for half a unit.
Perfect. Is that all you got for player props? You got anything else? Because I got my game lines already done.
Yeah. So are you not doing? Is that just the morning slate? Are you gonna go to that?
I woke up a bit late, so I'm gonna put some more picks in the Discord. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna have more.
Right. All I know is Kansas City's only 1-point favorites against a bad 49ers team.
I don't know. I've seen like so many people high on the Niners. I don't really get it right
Is
now.
it the CMC hype? I don't understand.
I'm a little bit confused. I don't know what it is.
He doesn't know their offense.
I was thinking the same thing.
So I would say Kansas City is a 2-unit play for me. The reason why it's not going to be a 3-unit is I'm waiting. DraftKings doesn't have as of now, any player props for Christian McCaffrey. He is playing. So if his receptions, if you are on a different sports book and his reception is anywhere between 4 and 6, take it. I think he doesn't know the offense enough to get into the running game. So they're just going to try and get the ball in his hands, and they'll dump it off to him any way they can.
Yeah.
So he's a playmaker. They want the ball in his hands, but the NFL's offenses are so complex. It's going to take him 2 or 3 weeks just to understand the running playbook. I don't know if he has any experience with any of the offensive coordinators, but definitely Kansas City -1. You can buy the money line if you want. So that's a 2-unit play for me.
I like that. I like that play. Yeah. Well, another reminder, 2 things. If any of you are on the free chat, join us from the free chat, send a DM to Jacob or I for our full slate today. We will give you all the NFL picks for free. So just send us a DM and we will send them to you. But because we don't know who's on the free chat and who's on the VIP chat here. And also make sure bankroll management is important. So as we're saying, when we say 4-unit play, 2-unit play, 1-unit play, make sure you set your units and have a set amount of money. So you're betting responsibly, and don't have the units. If you have $100 in your account, don't have the units be like, oh, $20 a unit. Don't do that.
Right.
Please do that. Make them. I mean, what's your thing? I have it at mine at 2% of
mine's my unit's 1%.
So 1 to 2% should be what you're looking at of your entire bankroll, and that should be 1 unit for you.
You shouldn't bet more than 15% of what your bankroll is. So if you're betting and you have a bad beginning of the week, so like if we don't do well, which we haven't not done well the last 3 weeks since we've been doing it, for the morning games, I just stay away from the afternoon games because clearly whatever numbers I'm looking at, it's all for me, it's all analytics. So whatever numbers I'm looking at that week aren't hitting, and games are all analytically the same usually. So yeah, so if I'm down 8, 7, 6 units at the beginning morning games, I just watch. I don't bet the afternoon games. So that's something how I do it.
One thing TK put in the chat, you're on the VIP, so we're going to put them in the VIP chat. We'll put all that in the chat. I'm talking for people who just people who are on Brunch and Picks. We'll send the picks we just put on Brunch and Picks to them, but you're on the VIP, so you're chill.
Yeah, so we open this up for free, and then throughout the week, only VIP members get the rest of the picks.
Yeah, exactly.
And also bet to win that certain amount of units. So if we say 2 units, don't bet 2 units. So if it's plus 140, and that's where you get the return on investment and you get what they call juice. So if it's plus 140, you're betting less than a unit to win that unit. If it's minus 140, you are betting more than 1 unit to win that 1 unit. So if you have questions on that, again, DM us. It is on the you wrote about it. So if you go to the sports channels pick, you can open up the document and read about it that way.
All right, and I'll just do a quick recap, go through all the pieces that we show, go super quickly for anyone who missed a couple. Ravens minus 6.5, nice comeback spot for them at home. Browns have a bad defense. I expect them to cover 6.5 at 2-unit play, just below a touchdown. Bucks Panthers under 39. The Panthers are terrible. They probably won't score much. And the Bucks offense has been struggling. I like that at a very confident 4-unit play, even though the under is a little low. Falcons Bengals. I like the Falcons at +7, 6-0 against the spread. Number 1 rushing offense, should keep this one close, even though the Bengals offense has been finding a groove as of late. I have it at a 2-unit play. Cowboys minus 6.5. Swift, as TK pointed out to me, they're not optimistic about him playing. That means I'm betting the Cowboys up to 6.5, 4 units, not betting up, betting them at 6.5 with a 4-unit play. I think Dak will shake off his rust against a weak secondary. Jaguars and Colts, or Jaguars, not Jaguars and Colts, Jaguars and Giants, got the Jaguars -3. At home, I think the defense will step up big. Giants luck will run out. Colts, Titans, divisional matchup. Give me the Colts +3. Matt Ryan passed for damn near 400 yards. Titans have a bad passing defense. I think the Colts even up the season series tonight. That's what I got for today. Jacob, you want to run through your picks really quick?
Yeah. So another one that we haven't talked about is the Jets and Broncos. No idea how the Jets are only 2.5-point favorites. So throwing a unit on that.
Wait, they got bet up to 2.5?
They're -2.5, the Jets.
They were dogs originally.
How?
They were
how are the New York Jets dogs against the Denver Broncos?
They were 1-point underdogs. Oh yeah, you're right. No, they are. If you look at them, they were 1-point underdogs before.
What? Okay. Yeah, I don't understand how that is possible. Broncos are terrible. They're starting Rypien, or however you pronounce his last name. So
who?
Russell Wilson's not playing today.
Oh, he's not. That's probably why it was bet up. That's probably why.
Right. But he's been terrible all year. So, like, some people could say that Rypien is even better than he is. But yeah, so I would take the Jets -2.5, 1 unit. I have a 1-unit play of St. Brown, same game parlay with Hawkinson over the receptions. So St. Brown over 6.5, Hawkinson over 3.5. I have Dak Prescott under 34.5 attempts. For the Giants, I have Daniel Jones over 18.5 completions and over 27.5 attempts. And then my big 2-unit play is Algier. I can't pronounce his last name. Atlanta's running back over 46.5 running yards and over 12.5 attempts. So I'm going to put 1 unit. I'll probably put 2 units on over 46.5 and 1 unit on 12.5. So there's your 3-unit play. If you want Hawkinson over 3.5 rushing yards, catches. it's minus 160 right now. So I usually try to stay away from anything that's less than minus 150 odds. Just the return on investment's not there, and you lose quite a bit of juice if that unfortunately doesn't hit. He gets hurt or something. But with DJ Shark out, he's gonna get those catches, or he's gonna get those looks his way coming. So I believe that's everything. I don't think I missed.
All right, perfect.
Derrick Henry over 2.5 catches for 1 unit, and his 13.5 reception yards. Yes.
All right.
And then I'm also leaning towards the Colts Titans over, but I'm gonna have to wait till game time also.
All right. That. Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
Any questions? I'm gonna unmute everybody, or maybe I don't know if I can. Or
is that a thing? Can you unmute everyone at the same time?
You can mute everyone, but
I know. Yeah, I know that.
Okay, so I just allowed y'all to unmute yourself. So if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, write it in the chat. Cantrell, yep, let's go. I mean, who doesn't like winning some money on Sundays, right? It's your day off. Get ready for the market open on Mondays. So yeah, let's see if my props continue to be bangers.
Let's go. Let's ride. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's have another great week.
All right. See you.
I'll put some in the chat, TK, soon.
When are you? Okay, the basketball.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some in the chat, the VIP chat.
Okay, right.
I'm not putting them on here.
Anytime the Pacers play and Mathurin is under 15 points, bet him. I don't know. Yeah, I've been riding high on him. So
yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
See you guys.
Well, have a great Sunday.